good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Saturday? I'm doing great. My family's doing great. Hope each and every one of you are doing great. And I hope you're enjoying the amazing, beautiful weather outside. I know it's hot, but get out there and enjoy it while you can. Don't complain. If you could please hit that like button, subscribe button, and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link will be in the description of this video. So what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm good, you know, working, chilling, just living my life. Got a new lady in my life. I'd say that I'm a much more upbeat person these days. Feel much more positive about my life specifically, but I'm still crazy busy, and honestly I would actually like more work. So we'll see what happens and we'll see how that goes, but I'm in a much better place, and I think you'll see. Like, you won't see me looking so down, you know what I'm saying? Because I honestly was pretty damn depressed for a while. But anyways, let's cut this out, okay? Today we're gonna go to part 2 of this series, the cons that you need to avoid at all costs in the system. These are the guys that you can't afford to do your time with if you want to avoid problems, get parole, possibly walk out safe without any issues physically or with violence. These are the guys that you need to avoid, and if not, then you will deal with the consequences that come along with that. These videos are to basically tell you who to avoid and why. And today, in part 2, we're going to talk about the instigator / manipulator, because to me, they're kind of the same person. Sometimes you'll have a manipulator who's not an instigator, and sometimes you'll have an instigator. No, instigator's always a manipulator. So this person is going to get you probably in the most danger of anybody else besides yourself. The only person who can get you in more trouble than this person is you, okay? So I want you to listen clearly if you possibly are going to be going into provincial or federal, because this guy is in both, okay? A lot of the time, this person's going to have a smile and possibly even be your friend. There's no guarantee that this is somebody that you're going to have an issue with. It doesn't mean that this isn't somebody that you should avoid. There are certain people when you're in the system that I would describe as people who love chaos, who thrive off it, you know, who, if a day is boring and chill and nobody's having any issues, they don't feel right about the time. They want to stir shit up, whether it's serious or just small shit. These are the dudes that are going to stir it up. And I, at one point, used to be one of these dudes. When we used to drag dudes behind the toilets and smash them out, whether we were being super serious or not, it's still instigating issues. It would lead to people being upset and lead to us doing more serious things, which is instigating. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're directly instigating this person to fight this person. You could be instigating issues with the COs. You could be instigating like riots and things like that. You could be instigating somebody to actually hurt somebody seriously and somebody lose their life. You could be instigating for many, many, many different things. Now, if we're going to look at the manipulator, I'd say that this is also a very dangerous person inside, because he is probably smarter than most people, and he has figured out that it's not that difficult to run game, basically, you know, to pull the wool over people's eyes. Like, if you're a little bit smart, even just a little bit, most people aren't going to be as smart as you, and you'll traverse your time pretty well. The stupid people that do the most obviously dumb shit are the people who get hurt, run out of prisons, have to go to PC, that aren't hounds or rats, right? there are a lot of guys, and a lot of the time it's the instigator or the manipulator getting sent out. Now, I'll tell you a story. I've told this story on the channel. I'm just going to paraphrase it really quickly. But when I was in Joyceville, there was two guys on my range, a white dude and like a little Asian dude, whether he was Laos or Cambodian, I can't remember. But they were friends. This white kid had money, you know, and like he was involved in stuff and was being manipulated. His friend went to him and said, bro, you're being played. Like, chill out. Like, leave these dudes alone. Next morning, two big gangster native dudes ran into his cell, shanks in each hand, and lit him up. Like, I mean, lit him up. Apparently, when he was walking down the range, he looked like DMX on the Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood CD cover. That's how bloody he was. I remember looking into the cell with my mirror because I was directly in the next cell and seeing black blood all over his mattress. All head shots, all neck shots, serious shit, right? Maybe upper chest. And this kid was like an innocent kid just looking out for his friend, right? But manipulators got in people's ears, told him that this kid was a problem, and it led to this kid getting hurt really badly. And I know that it was a brotherhood issue, a native brotherhood issue, and this guy wasn't a brother, you know? I know the kid was white, that's how I say it, but it was a native guy issue, and I think he was rolling with the native guys. Like, he might have been 50-50, I don't know, right? But it was native guys. This other dude's an Asian dude, and the hit got put, and boom, they rode on him. And they literally tried to kill this kid over nothing. Almost lost his life. And he came back to the jail. He did. The two guys got caught because, you know, you run up in somebody's cell first thing in the morning in front of 50 people. Somebody's going to tell. You know, it just, you can't avoid it. You can't. And I don't care if you're in an integrated pen or not. Somebody's gonna fly a kite. Man, I remember the last time I got in a fight in Fembrook. Okay, by the time we walked to the washroom to clean up, there's feds everywhere. Like, that's how quickly shit moves. And yeah, we fought right on camera, right? But still, anyways, back to that situation. He could have very easily avoided all of that by minding his own business, you know. Just mind your business. Do your own time. Put your blinders on. I remember before I ever went to the pen the first time, guys told me, bro, just look straight. When you're walking down the range, look straight. Don't look into anybody's cell. It's called rubbernecking. But not just literally, figuratively, also just look straight, man. Put the blinders on and don't pay attention to shit except for what you need to do. If you're trying to get out on parole, you can't have one incident. Not one. Now, maybe you might be able to get away with one dirty urinalysis. Maybe. But maybe not. You know, parole is not that easy to get. It's not guaranteed for sure. When you're going through the court system, your lawyer is going to tell you over and over again that if you plead guilty, you go to the pen, you're going to get parole for sure. First offense for sure. And it's bullshit. It is. You first have to be accepted by a halfway house. And if you have a list of charges that are violent at all, that is probably not going to happen. Then you're stuck going to Keel Center, which is a revolving door policy set up place for you to go, okay? And then even if Keel Center, if you can go there, then you also now have to convince the parole board that you should be given parole. Any violation, it's probably not going to happen. Now, maybe if you have one or two bad things that happen at the beginning of your sentence and like progressively you show an improvement in your behavior, because this is what happened with me, then maybe over years you may be able to earn a parole. But in a situation like mine where I got parole, I actually never got let out early. I went to treatment and did 6 months in treatment, and I would have been out a month before if I would have just stayed inside for my stat. But I needed the treatment, but that's a different situation. Anyways, the instigator and the manipulator are the people that are going to get you into these situations, that are going to get you sent to a maximum security jail or a higher security jail like Collins Bay or Warkworth. If you're in like a place like a camp or something and somebody instigates some trouble, right? Instigates things like packages. You know, there's a lot of dudes, man. They're constantly thinking, how can I get dope in here? Contraband, this and that. This person is also an instigator, aka manipulator, trying to manipulate the system to get stuff in, which is cool if you have no intention on getting out, changing your life, and improving. The reality is, before you get out, you have to change your life. You know, you're not going to get out and the next day, boom, you're a different person. It doesn't work that way. You have to stop shit before you ever touch and get accustomed to living like that, man. Anyways, instigators not only will do that, but they could start shit like a riot. Now, I remember the riot that I was in, 2012 in Joyceville. It was a crazy day of my life. It was scary. It was exhilarating. It was interesting. It was fun, but also scary. You know, I'm not going to lie, it was. And it got scarier and scarier and scarier as the day progressed and the more weed I smoked and got more and more paranoid. But it did. By the end, they had read the riot act. They had fired live rounds. They had shot in concussion grenades and blasted the range with pepper spray all day long. They couldn't use tear gas. Range was flooded. Tear gas canisters wouldn't work. So they literally just pumped pepper spray into the windows all fucking day. And by like the end of the day, you could barely breathe. It was like scratching your throat, right? That situation was instigated. At one point, I didn't even want that to happen. I'll keep it honest. You know, I was up all night doing hydromorphs. I hadn't slept a wink. I was trying to convince everybody, yo, just wait, dog, just wait. I'm exhausted. I need some sleep. I need some fucking sleep. So, I remember it was like talk down. You know, it was like talk down. And I went lay down in my bed. I was like, oh, nice. It's going to be chill night. You know, I don't have to worry, but I can just go to sleep. And all of a sudden I hear, yo, 4C, it's about to go down. Everybody forward to the bathroom with your fucking institutionals. And you know, the day's ruined. Your bit's ruined. At least a long time is ruined. We end up having a full-born riot, having to live on this range with nothing except this green fire retardant jumper and a pair of tighty whities for weeks. It sucked. And honestly, one or two people really instigated the situation. And one of them, I feel like, didn't even want to be there because he owed a bunch of money. And he knew if he was whiling, he was going to get taken out of the joint. Boom, boom, problem gone. But honestly, I can look back at that situation now and say, man, it's a miracle that nobody died. You know, not even just from the live rounds being fired at this dude on my range while he was running back and forth. Everybody else had already retreated because we had been read the riot act and they were going to kill people. And none of us wanted to die. It was literally over nothing. But this dude was crazy. So he kept going and they started fucking firing rounds down the range at him. And he's yelling back and forth with them like, you're trying to kill me. They're like, go to your fucking cell. And he finally went to the cell. They came in, opened up the fucking hatches, and just blasted everybody with level 5 OC spray. If you've ever been hit with that, it just sucks all the oxygen out of the room. You're hearing grown men scream for their moms, cry, gasp, throw up. People are splashing the water on the ground in their face. It's had pepper spray in it all fucking day. There's one little window in the cell. People are gasping. It was rough. They took you down, held you like this as they take you down like this, right? They put you in a shower. There's like fucking shields all like this. They got cameras on you. It's humiliating, all because of an instigator. Like 7 or 8 guys ended up going to the unit, parole done. A lot of people got misconducts, parole done. Honestly, you know, there's so many different circumstances that can get you into trouble. But if you really look back to the beginning of most of it, you're going to find either an instigator or a manipulator or both at the top or the beginning of that. For sure. You know, I'm just trying to think of some other things that remind, like off the top, I can think of somebody instigating, like outright. Okay. I remember in Young Offender, there was a circumstance where a kid ate a piece. And people are instigating it. The guy probably would have never thought about something like that. Something as evil and as deviant as that. But people around him started instigating. Okay? Now, you forced this kid to eat a piece. Okay? This kid projectile vomits everywhere. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know if somebody got charged or not. But in a circumstance like that, you can get charged for some messed up charges, you know? Like, I knew dudes that were in the Don or in the West, I can't remember exactly, that gave somebody an enema to get their package out and got SA charges. They weren't SAing somebody. Well, they were. But that wasn't what they thought they were doing. Turns out now they're NG. Their name's no good. You go to any pen, anywhere, you're in bad standing, and that wasn't your intention. So what I would suggest, and obviously when I share my stories with you guys, the plan is for you guys to not do it, not go to prison at all. But at least if you go, have an understanding of how things work so you can keep yourself safe and possibly get out. And even early, possibly, if you do the right things, you know, if you mind your business, you know. Mind your business. Don't get misconducts. And literally, like, get a part-time institutional job and you'll get parole. If you can message halfway houses, get accepted to a halfway house, or even better, to a treatment center in advance, you're almost guaranteed parole. Nowadays. See, when I first started doing pen time, that wasn't happening. But nowadays, that kind of does happen. So if you could please hit that like button, subscribe button, and that bell notification button so you get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of most of my videos. So I saw one person get murked in jail, not in prison, in jail, in the Don. And I 100% think that situation was instigated, but that the person himself who got killed was the definition of the instigator or manipulator. Bully, all of those wrapped up into one, and it cost him his life. And I bet you people who know him would say he's a decent guy, you know? If you sit down, you talk to him, you have a conversation, he was probably a decent person. But now, because he got involved with the wrong people, with the instigators, the manipulators, he's not here anymore, you know? So, anyways, I love y'all. I hope you guys love this video. The smartest thing for you to do if you go inside from start to beginning is to just work out. Probably, if you don't have your high school, get your high school, you know, like at least a diploma. Sometimes you can get like bursaries, free college courses awarded to you by the government. It's just, there are some of those programs inside. And if you take advantage of them, you can improve yourself inside. You can improve your resume so it's not dead time. Like say you go to prison for 3 years, but in that time, you get a high school diploma, you do a couple college courses. Now you have an explanation as to where you were for those years, whether fully honest or not. Just, you constantly have to be in the mindset of improving yourself and not vice versa. Staying away from anybody who's getting into trouble, bringing in packages, instigating fights, manipulating circumstances, and possibly you'll get out without getting hurt, losing your life, or losing your freedom for longer. Love y'all. The new Matt Clark.